Secretary McMahon, could you talk about the efforts of the department to ensure that education and educational institutions know their obligations under Title IX to protect the due process rights of their students as well as the victims of misconduct?
Well, certainly I think this administration has shown that it is absolutely committed, to protecting, Title IX, not only with keeping men out of women's sports, because we do know that women are absolutely girls and women are absolutely put at a disadvantage when men are allowed to compete, just simply because they can miss scholastic opportunities as well as for their own personal safety.
Right.
So I absolutely believe that we're correct in enforcing those Title IX efforts, and the President has issued an executive order to that effect as well as the fact that I do believe that it is covered under Title IX. Yeah. So, and the due process portion at our universities, I think, is very important that we continue to look at that to make sure, as you said, that victims and those who are accused are protected under due process.
No, I think that's correct, and I think too many times these Title IX adjudications are run by folks of a DEI bent, and many times there can be a guilty until proven innocent assumption and a lack of due process. So I thank you and of course the Trump administration for your commitment to restoring Title IX to its original purpose as opposed to being weaponized for ideological political ends. Thank you so much for being before us here today, Madam Secretary. I yield back.
I thank the gentleman. I recognize now the gentlelady from Minnesota, Ms. Omar.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Madam Secretary, for being here with us. Is it fair to assume that you are aware that when a student loan borrower is defrauded by a school, that there is a provision in law called the borrower defense?
Yes, I am.
Okay. It is a straightforward concept. A student should not be forced to repay loans to schools that lie to them. We know that millions of federal grants and loans go out the door while students are left with education that is not worthy. So I was actually surprised a few weeks ago when your department quietly rescinded $37 million fine that was placed against Grand Canyon University. Can you explain why that happened?
Let me think for a second. Let me review my notes on that because there were a couple of things I wanted to make sure I covered with you. We really found that the accusations against Grand Canyon, which is a faith-based organization, and we looked at all the facts of the case.
I am familiar with the university.
Really,
my question is, how are those students going to be made whole if you are not allowing the university to pay the fines? What's the plan?
I'm not sure that that's the right analysis of it, but I will look into it further and get back to you.
And you'll give me back a writing?
Yes, I will.
Writing? Okay. Because we know that, the president in whom you serve had a fraudulent university called Trump University, and he himself settled 3 lawsuits before becoming president. We know that there are roughly 1.4 million borrowers who have been approved for a borrower defense discharge and are still waiting for that process. How are you clearing out that backlog?
In terms of the borrower defense funds?
Uh-huh.
There are lists of that. I'll be happy to get back to you with those numbers.
Okay. And while those students wait, can you give us a commitment that you are not going to collect that debt?
Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that as to what the situation is. And
I don't understand how that's a difficult question to say yes to. They've been defrauded. They are waiting for relief. While they wait for their relief,
well,
they shouldn't have to pay back that debt.
Well, if they've been defrauded and it's been adjudicated that they've been defrauded, then I will get back to you as to what the time frame is and why there's a holdup if there is.
Okay.
I'm not sure as I sit here right now.
Wonderful.